Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to discuss the key of our home task I gave for balancing equations last week. So without getting too much late, so let's start with the discussion of the key. So our first question of that homework is this equation. This is arrow. So this is our first equation. So now how should we do? I'll show. As I said you in the last video, right before, by, after, then write the element names sodium, chlorine and fluorine. So these are the element names. Now check how many atoms are there on the either sides. First, in before sodium has one atom. So in after also sodium has only one atom. Chlorine has two atoms on the after, but it has one atom on the before. Now fluorine has two atoms on the before, whereas it has one atom on the after. So how will we solve this equation? So as we know, chlorine atoms are 2 on the other side. So we'll put 2 in front of NS here. Then what happens? Then chlorine will become 2 and 2. So it's balanced. Now what will happen for sodium? Now sodium will become 2. Now in after also after it's 1. So now we know sodium and fluorine are unbalanced. As we know, fluorine on the before side is 2 atoms and on the other side is 1. So if we add another 2 here, what will happen next? The after of sodium will also become 2. Fluorine will also become 2. So as you can see, all atoms are balanced in the above equation. So the balanced equation is 2NaCl plus F2 is 2NaF plus Cl2. So this is our balanced equation. Let's move on to the second one. So our second question in the home task is this: H2 plus O2 equals H2O. Now write it before, by, after, hydrogen and oxygen. So now you check. In before hydrogen is 2 and after also hydrogen is 2 only. But in before oxygen is 2 and in after it's 1. Oxygen is 1 on the after. So how can we balance all the atoms? So now you can see that oxygen is unbalanced. So let's try adding a 2 here. So what will happen? The oxygen here will become 2. But the hydrogen on the after will become 4. Now what we should do? Now put the 2 in front of H2 on the before side. Then hydrogen will also become 4. Now you can see that all the atoms here are balanced. So the balanced equation is 2H2 plus O2 is 2H2O. Okay. Now let's move on to the third one. So the third question for our homework is this: CH4 plus O2 equals CO2 plus H2O. Now how can we solve this? As the following way, put before and after, write the components: carbon, oxygen and hydrogen. So now you check how many are there before and after. Before carbon has one atom, after also one atom. Oxygen has 2 atoms on the before. There it has 3 atoms. O2 plus O equals O3. Hydrogen here has 4 and there are 2. So now how will we balance this? So first we'll try balancing the hydrogen. Here is H4. So if we add 2 here, H2 to the 4. So hydrogen will become balanced. Similar, oxygen will become increased. Here it will become O2 plus O2, O4. So now, how can we balance the other oxygen? As we know, 2 into 2 is 4 and 2 in front of O2. 2 to the 4. So, oxygen will also be balanced. So this is the answer. So, the balanced equation is CH4 plus 2O2 that equals CO2 plus 2H2O. So this is our balanced equation. So let's move on to the next one. So our fourth question in the homework is written here. Ag2O is Ag plus O2. So now how can we balance it? Similar way, write before and after. Write the components. Silver means Ag, oxygen, that's it. So now balance. Now before we have Ag as 2, but after it's 1. Similar, oxygen is 1 and oxygen is 2 only after. So we should balance them. So if we add a 2 in front of Ag, then after will also become 2, balanced. But oxygen should also be balanced. So if we add 2 in the 2, then in the compound, then oxygen will become 2 and it's balanced, but silver will become more. Silver will become 4. Now how can we reduce that? So when we add 4 in front of Ag on the after side, then it will become 4 and both are balanced. So the balanced equation for the following is 2Ag2O is 4Ag plus O2. So let's go to the last problem. So our final home task problem is this. So S2 plus O2 is SO2. Now how can we do it? Now do before, after, sulfur and oxygen. Sulfur on before we have 2 and on the after we have 1. But oxygen is balanced, 2, 2. So now how can we balance the sulfur? So if we add 2 here, the sulfur on the after becomes 2. But the oxygen increases, 4 it becomes. So to balance oxygen, if we add 2 in front of O2, what will happen? The before will also become 4. And this is the atoms are balanced. So the answer for the equation is S2 plus 2O2 is 2SO2. So thank you for watching this video, and this is the key for the problems. So please subscribe if you like to my channel if you like the video, and our next topic will be heat and temperature. So thank you.